Alright, so boom. Another yearly wrap up, man. 2023 was a smooth year for the channel. So it's time to look back and tell you guys about how I feel about every video I made, some fun facts about each video, and hell, simply whatever comes to mind when I look at the title and the thumbnail. Some of my favorite videos I ever made on the channel came out this year. And one of those favorites is the very first video we're about to talk about, so let's get to it. This video is probably my favorite one that I made throughout the whole year, and it was the first video of the year. When have you ever heard a YouTuber talk about songs that are not hated on enough? I'm certainly the first person to do that. And it led to a hilarious video. Unsurprisingly though, this comment section is loaded with Playboi Carti fans. Because I put his song Pull Up from Die Lit on the list, all his fans were saying a bunch of ridiculous stuff like, just because a song has a repetitive hook doesn't make it a bad song. Even though I've never said or implied that. And other nonsense like, oh, I see you hit us with the clickbait. The only reason you put Playboi Carti in the thumbnail is because you knew it would get people to click on it and watch it. And I'm just like, how is that clickbait? The nigga is on the list. Pull Up is garbage. It's actually outrageous how many people defend Pull Up. Oh, you just don't understand Carti. You gotta be a fan of his music to get the appeal of that track. Literally any excuse you can possibly think of, someone put that in the comment section of that video. Bro, look at this comment right here. Somebody tried to tell me, you just an old head, not every song needs to have a deep meaning. I responded and went, at no point did I say a song needs a deep meaning to be good. Y'all just being a bunch of crybabies because I don't like Pull Up as much as y'all do. That nigga immediately folded and was like, oh, that's fair, my fault. There is no other song in that video that anybody is defending, by the way. I ain't had a single soul comment and say, oh, you tripping, Big Nut Bust by Big Sean is fire. Blow My Booty Hole by Soulja Boy is a classic, what you talking about? Nobody had anything to say about the other 4 songs. This comment section is loaded with kids that are mad that I think Pull Up is a whack song. And just like that, back to back, this is another video where a lot of people in the comments are just straight up dumbasses and wasn't paying attention to anything that I said. Now, I made it very clear that this video was me talking about my experiences with music fan bases and the annoying things I have personally dealt with when talking to them. And yet so many people kept making this video about them or about music as a whole. What I mean is, I can't tell you how many comments I got of people saying things like, Taylor Swift and her Swiftie fan base are way worse than Kendrick's. Bruh, have you not seen the stuff that the Barbs be doing to people? They're easily the worst fan base. There is no way you think Kendrick fans are worse than Eminem stans or Drake stans. And every time I see those comments, I'm like, dude, I'm not talking about what happens with other people. I'm talking about which fan base gets on my nerves, me personally. Drake fans, Taylor Swift fans, they don't do shit to me, so why would I be talking about them? I remember one time on Twitter, there was this thread talking about Drake fans, and I was reading the replies, and somebody had mentioned my name while speaking to someone else. I'll put the tweet up if I can find it, but this dude was like, oh, I've been trying to tell Amiri that Drake has the worst fans, but he wouldn't listen. Dude really said Kendrick fans are the worst with a straight face. People like this are the ones that don't pay attention to anything. I am not talking about what Kendrick fans do to other people. I'm talking about what they do to me. In my experience, Kendrick Lamar is the only fan base that bitches and complains that you don't want to check out his music. Even after I admit Kendrick is cold from what I've heard and I can see why he's one of the GOATs, he just never hooked me in enough to where I care to listen to a whole album, and niggas still complain. He has the only fan base that does that. And every time I said that, someone kept responding with, well, I just disagree because Kendrick fans never got on my nerves. I'm like, okay, nigga, I didn't say this for you or anybody else to agree with me. Your experiences with Kendrick fans has nothing to do with mine. Like, bro, I can't lie. I hate reading the comments on this video. It's so many dumbass people, man. What about Kanye fans? What about Lil Uzi Vert fans? I'm like, what about them? Them niggas don't bother me. This video also taught me, I mean, granted I already knew this, but this video just taught me even more that people assume all rap YouTubers are exactly the same. I've had other people say stuff like, I just think not listening to Kendrick and not wanting to make a video about him is pretty stupid. Like, YouTube is literally your job. This is your #1 source of income, so why wouldn't you? I'm like, who the fuck said that? No, it's not at all. What are you talking about? That's like an NBA YouTuber saying he don't want to make a video about LeBron. Like, no, that's not at all the same thing. I've been doing YouTube for 6 years and I've never made a video about Kendrick. Other than this one, obviously. And I've been running my channel just fine. I don't have to do that just because I make videos about hip hop. It's so many things I can rant about, but I'm not going to do it, bro. I can complain for 10 minutes about these stupid ass Kendrick fans that I've come across after making this. This was honestly the hardest Am I Sleepin' video I ever had to make, bruh. Listening to Wale's music was a chore. It's not 100% on him. It's more so the fact that this video was made right after I got out of a 2-week hospital stay and I just didn't have the full drive to work on this video. The Megan Thee Stallion videos I worked on just fine, but when it came to this Wale one, I just really didn't feel like it. But when I did get it done, Wale got some songs I enjoyed. Let's not get it construed. He cool, but I had to trudge through this video, man. I also really don't know why this video is 40 minutes long. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I think part of it is because I included a bonus track. It probably would have been like 35 or 36 minutes if I didn't. But every time I see this video in like my YouTube Studio app, I just stare at the duration and go, why the hell did I make a 40-minute video about Wale anyway? I was tripping. There was a story I had told during the Lil Yachty portion of the video. I said how for the song Everybody, I got in a college classmate's car and he was playing it, and ever since then I liked the song. I actually hit that person up and told them that I talked about that experience in this video. I haven't seen or spoken to this dude in years, but he responded rather quickly when I hit him up about it. So that was actually pretty fascinating for me. Like, you can go years without talking to a nigga, but then as soon as you send them one message, they'll respond right there quick. Y'all should low-key try it out. Like, hit up somebody you ain't talked to in like 5 years and see if they respond to you. So this video, I was going back and forth for a long time on whether or not I wanted to put it on this channel or the main one. And the reason I ended up choosing the main one is because this second channel isn't monetized, and I wasn't about to spend a good amount of time working on the video and not make no money from it. Lil Wayne has a mixtape track where he's rapping over Sean Paul's Like Glue. I actually used that song as the background instrumental for the intro to the video. I enjoy Like Glue by Wayne actually way more than the song Kush. I had Kush at number 10 as the last song in the video, and after making the video, I listened to Like Glue like 100 times, and it bothers me that I didn't put that at number 10 instead of Kush. I still like Kush, but saying I like it more than Like Glue, I immediately disagree with that like a couple of days after I posted the video. I was actually really close to putting Miley Cyrus on the thumbnail of this video because I did talk about her song 23 as the first entry. I can't imagine how people would have reacted if they saw Miley as the face of this. But this is the video that made me start thinking about making videos on R&B artists. I started thinking this because I brought up making a song ranking video on Chris Brown. But Chris Brown has over 200 songs, man. A video on him would deadass be a nightmare to make. I seriously don't know if I'm gonna do that, but it did come to mind certainly while I was working on this. This was my least favorite Am I Sleepin' video I've ever made, solely because of how disappointed I was in the artist. I know I was talking about how much of a trudge it was getting through Wale, but I still came away with some songs that I liked, and I wasn't expecting much when it came to listening to him. Lil Yachty, however, I was so hurt that I didn't like his music for real. I thought y'all would recommend me some heat, but I was not rocking with a lot of what I heard. And it wasn't just for this video. I checked out some other songs by him way after the video was over, and I still didn't care for most of them. Lil Yachty is super hit or miss, and he's one of the most disappointing rappers I've ever listened to in my life. Now this video is when I started using a different thumbnail style for certain videos. I didn't use the typical picture on the right, title on the left that I normally do. I did a different version of it. I decided to make this thumbnail style for my worst songs, best songs videos, but when I used it for this video, surprisingly no one said anything. Like good or bad, no one said anything about this thumbnail. But this is the video where I say how every time I get a win in Apex Legends, I blurt out Glorilla's poppin' shit. You would think I went to school for chiropractic. I still do that to this day. Ain't shit changed. One thing that pissed me off about this video is that there were times where I would play an artist's music video and the bit rate would mess up on the screen and it would get super blurry. It happened when I was talking about Too Rare and when I was talking about Central C. After posting the video, I was like, what the hell? Why does it look like this? And I can never fix it on that video. I figured out how to overcome it now, so it's not gonna happen anymore. But seeing that video, I get so pissed every time it comes up. I'm mad I didn't notice that when I was editing it. I've also yet to hear anything fire from Tia Corinne. I still think she trash. And bruh, this video right here introduced me to Lil Tyler's Law and Order Part 2, and that ended up being a top 5 most listened to song by me this year. I saw this in my YouTube music recap, and I wasn't the slightest bit surprised. I listened to this song a lot after I found it while working on this video. I still agree with my order for this video. The only leeway I would give is switching Friday with Finesse 2 times, say that shit 2 times, say that shit 2 times. Because that choir still felt like a cheat code a little bit, but that melody was just so smooth. Finesse was able to remember all his rhymes while knocking a consistent beat on the stool. Like, that is not easy to do. Either way, they was both fire, so it don't matter. The story that I told about DC the Don still gets me as well. This nigga really popped up at the very beginning of my stream. Bruh, I did a stream called Listening to DC the Don, and this nigga showed up like 7 minutes after I started the stream. I don't even know how he found the shit, but he had commented, "It's 2023, why you listening to stuff that came out in 2020? I'm like, bitch, I don't have to listen to your music at all. He lucky his music was good though, so it was whatever. I'm still curious on what the rest of his freestyle sounded like. He came out and said SXL cut out the end of it, but he didn't just reveal what the rest of it was. It's probably a contractual thing where he's not allowed to say it. My favorite part of this video is when I was on Tia Corinne's ass and I had pointed out how in her ABCs, when she got to the letter L, she was like, L is for lame, cause you bitches is lame. And I had said, bitch, you're lame. What are you talking about? That part be taking me out. This is another video where I purposely put a different type of thumbnail and no one said anything about it. The video performed very well though, so if I would have used the old thumbnail style, I guess it wouldn't have mattered. I fuck with the way this one looks, but I'm not about to make this a style for other videos, just that SXL one. This video got 37,000 views and only 120 dislikes. I'm actually surprised this doesn't have way more due to me not having Too Rare in last place. I had Lola Crook last. I put Too Rare above Tia Corinne, and although people were obviously commenting disagreeing about it, I had no overwhelming hate for saying this. Like, nobody came to Lola Crook's rescue and saying stuff like, oh, ain't no way in hell you put her in last place. Nobody really disagreed with me saying that. My favorite verse is easily Lil Tyler's. I remember one time I was driving and I was bumping that verse. I even recorded myself doing it and put it on the ground.
Think I got some shit to say, it's time to hit the booth. Why the fuck these niggas always hating, they trying to get no loot? I can't lie, that bitch can't come this way if that little bitch ain't cute. I wake up every day, just that page, that's something you should do. I done took a lot of niggas bitches, that's why they don't like me. Pull up to the jeweler, drop that bag and tell that nigga ice me. I been running through these racks, I swear this shit get pricey. All those bitches that shitted on me back then wanna be my wife.
That verse is my shit, but he's still not getting put over finesse 2 times, so that shit 2 times, so that shit 2 times. Rob 49 or Sleepy World Go. The only person I would probably switch Lil Tyler with is DC the Don. Shout out to It's Aaron Speaking, because believe it or not guys, I had no clue who Shawty Boy or Hot Rod was until several months ago, because he told me about them. This is one of those videos that I had planned for a minute, but I didn't have 5 entries, so it just took a while to make. But when I found out about Shawty Boy and Hot Rod from Aaron, I was ready to roast their ass. Shawty Boy is on a song called Shawty Did the Truth that I played in the video, and I've been rocking with that song heavy since I made this. I like the way she do her dance, man. Shawty Did the Truth. I remember there was this one guy who commented and tried to tell me that I misspelled the word Proteges. He thought this was supposed to be rap prodigies that failed to blow up, and I'm like, no nigga, I know what I said. The correct word is protege, not prodigy. Cho dumb ass. My favorite part of this video is easily at the end of the, what's the nigga name? What's that lame ass nigga name from DC? Izzy, that's his name. The end of the Izzy battle part, what I had said, I was talking about Nick Cannon and I had said, people already don't take Nick seriously as a rapper. So for him to try to put somebody else on, it's ridiculous. And I had said, hey everybody, check out my new artist. He's fresh, he's hot, y'all gonna fuck with him. We gonna fuck with him, we don't even fuck with you. So how does that work? That part makes me laugh every time. This Lil Peep video and the Doja Cat video are my top 2 favorite Am I Sleepin' videos that I've ever done. I really invested a lot of time watching documentaries about Lil Peep and really understanding his story. And that boy's life was so sad. His music certainly reflected what he was going through. And the best part about his music is that it sounded good, really good. There was hella songs I was like, oh my god, this is hidden right here. Like Beamer Boy, Awful Things, and The Way I See Things, those were great. So yeah, if anyone wanted to know what my favorite Am I Sleepin' video was, it's this one and the Doja Cat video. I drastically changed the title of this video. I never did like the original one, Lyrics Rappers Thought You Didn't Understand. I only called it that because I couldn't think of anything else. And I said that at the beginning of the part 1 video. But as you see, I changed it to Rappers Trying Too Hard to Be Clever. That Mona Leo lyric that I put in here still hurts my feelings to this day. This girl really said, I want an op hole to slide on me. I'ma park her car like Peter. Get it? It hurts when one of your favorite artists says some whack stuff. But I remember I hurt some Griselda fans' feelings with this one. During the 5th entry when talking about a Ludacris lyric, I said, don't ask me to make a video on any Griselda members. I don't care about any of them niggas. The reason I said that is because every time I tell someone that I don't listen to an artist, they go, oh, if that's the case, you should make an Am I Sleepin' video on them then. Or, hey, you should check out their albums and possibly do a song ranking video. Conway, Benny the Butcher, and whoever else is in that group are people that I've never had any interest on making a video on. So I said, don't ask me to make a video on them so that I can stop anybody in their tracks that was gonna ask me for it. Of course though, a lot of Griselda fans started crying and shit and saying stuff like, damn, you didn't have to disrespect them like that. I'm like, how am I disrespecting them by saying I'm not interested? I mean, it's the way you said it though. You knew what you was doing. You just completely shitted on their whole catalog and tried to make it seem like they garbage or something. I was getting so shocked at these comments. Like, no, I didn't make it seem like that at all. All I said was, don't ask me to make a video on them because I'm not interested in their music. You the one who got butthurt and started throwing all this other nonsense in there. At one point earlier in the video, I was hyping up Mona Leo and said that her album, Where the Flowers Don't Die, was a great project. And people was like, oh, you don't want to listen to Griselda, but you want us to believe that this Mona Leo bitch is somebody special? I had niggas pressed over that. So this video and one more video I'm about to talk about very soon, I was happy to make this because I've never even thought about making a video about the Billboard charts before. When I thought of this idea, I was like, oh shit, the Billboard charts is low-key a gold mine. There's so much information out there that I can make a video about. So I immediately came up with a few ideas, and this was one of them. Rap songs that were only on the Billboard Hot 100 chart for about 1 or 2 weeks. I already have a few examples to where I can easily make a part 2 as well. This is also the first video where I added an additional editing style to my videos, and it's when I put something on the forefront of a picture and then I have the background blurred. Pictures like this. I haven't done this on my channel before, but I realized that this makes a lot of things look cleaner, so I plan on doing this a lot going forward. What hurts my feelings about this video is that the lyric that made me want to make this video in the first place is not even in here. There's this super obscure rap song out there that I turned off after the very first line of the song. But when I was working on this video, I could not find that song on YouTube anymore, and I was hurt. I'm like, oh, where is it? This is the whole reason I even wanted to make this video. Now I can't find it, damn. The song and lyric that I'm talking about is way worse than all 5 of the lyrics I had in this video, and luckily I've since found it, so it's most definitely going in part 2. In order to compensate for that, that's where the zero lyric came from. That entire zero segment wasn't supposed to be in this video. I had to improv that whole thing because I couldn't find the original lyric that I wanted to talk about. Now, there's a gang of people actually defending Soulja Boy in the comments of this video. Everyone is trying to convince me that the lines I was saying weren't weak and they were actually fire. Such as when he said, sumo money, I got heavy paper. Press me is going down like an elevator. I'm sorry, but if you think that elementary school ass level wordplay is fire, then you're not one to talk. But the bunnies in my mansion, it ain't even Esther line that I did talk about, people was like, well actually, Esther is the name of the goddess that Easter was named after. So Soulja wasn't incorrect, you just don't know your history. Man, fuck all that. I seriously doubt that Soulja even knew that shit. Now, the real reason why Soulja pronounced Easter as Esther is because the very next line after that in the song is drop it low girl. Bunny's in my mansion and it ain't even Esther. Aha, drop it low girl. Soulja was referring to Esther Dean when he said that. At the time, Esther Dean had a popular song called Drop It Low. So that's why he purposely said Easter as Esther so that he can reference her in the very next line. Okay, so this is the other video I was referring to. When I realized that the Billboard charts were a gold mine and that there was a good amount of information to make hip hop content around, I easily went, oh yeah, this video is going to be made very soon. Now, one thing I don't think I will do is making a video about rap albums that got stopped in number 2. And this may sound like super counterproductive, but the reason I'm not going to do that is because there's way too many examples. Like, I started doing the research for rap albums that got stopped at number 2, and immediately as I was going through the year 2000, I found like 17 examples. So when I started looking into that, doing my research for that, I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna bother with albums that got stopped from going number 1 because this shit happens so often that it's too much to talk about. I don't think I'm gonna even do that one. Now, for some reason, there were numerous people that was skipping the intro of this video and completely ignored a lot of things that I said. One of them is the part where I said I did my research and I found all of the hip hop songs that fit my criteria. And hella people kept commenting, oh, you forgot this song. You didn't talk about this. Nicki Minaj's Anaconda got stopped at number 2 if you didn't know that. Juice WRLD's Lucid Dreams was stopped at reaching number 1. Why didn't you put that song in here? And I'm like, dude, I know that Anaconda got stopped from reaching number 1. I didn't forget anything. I just chose not to talk about it. And when it came to Lucid Dreams, it was some Juice WRLD fan that I responded to. And when he told me that I forgot to include it, I said, I know Lucid Dreams didn't reach #1. I just didn't want to include it. I didn't forget the song. He gonna say, but Lucid Dreams was the biggest song of that year that didn't reach #1. I just don't see why you would talk about a lesser known track like Please Me by Bruno Mars, but you didn't say nothing about Juice WRLD. I'm like, nigga, the point of the video isn't to talk about the biggest song of each year that didn't reach #1. Like, you missing the whole point. The popularity of Lucid Dreams doesn't mean I have to put it in this video. I can easily include it in a future part, which is what I'm going to do. People like this is why I understand why YouTubers don't read or reply to their comments sometimes, because I've responded to some people and it leads to very like pointless conversations. People say so much stuff that just makes you look at them like, bro, did you even pay attention to anything that I said? So yeah, that shit honestly gets really annoying when people try to tell me I forgot to talk about a song. The last thing was old heads was getting on my motherfucking nerves, man. The amount of people that were trying to come at me for not knowing Ludacris and Snoop Dogg was on Chingy's Holiday Inn was mind blowing. I had so many old head niggas saying shit like, damn, these young niggas really don't be doing their hip hop homework. I couldn't take nothing you said seriously after you say you didn't know the features on Holiday Inn. I'm like, what? Bro, this is goddamn Chingy that we're talking about here. Who the fuck cares about a Chingy song? Y'all acting like I said I've never heard Billie Jean by Michael Jackson. Like, who gives a shit about Chingy? I'm just saying, Holiday Inn was a super popular song. I just don't get how you didn't know the features. Them old head niggas was getting on my nerves. I ain't had old heads get on my nerves like that in such a long time. The most popular video on my channel, man, finally got a part 2 after 4 years. The thing with part 1 is that I originally made it in November 2018, but I took it down and re-uploaded it 6 months later in April 2019, and it still took off in views. The part 1 video got 200,000 views in a week. I posted this on April 1st. By April 9th, it was past 200. I didn't think a re-upload would pop off like that. Now, the only people that are complaining about this part 2 video are Pooh Shiesty fans. He was the first artist that I talked about, and I literally said Pooh Shiesty may get out of jail and have the streets on fire when he's released, but we just gonna have to wait a few years and see. But as of now, bro, you got sentenced to 5 years in prison right after you got on the list, so of course I have to include you. And yet, Pooh Shiesty fans were still commenting, this video is stupid. Pooh Shiesty didn't fall off, he just got locked up. Once he gets out, he may go right back to killing the game. I'm like, that's exactly what I said. I couldn't even continue watching this video after you mentioned Pooh Shiesty, but you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, alright my nigga, you can go, I don't care. So yeah, some people were whining about Shiesty, but no other fan base was complaining. I didn't have a single Cowboy, Moray fan, or more surprisingly, a Sofago fan. There's not a single Sofago fan that commented and tried to tell me that I was wrong or I was stupid for including him in the video. Pretty much everybody that watched this video agreed with what I was saying. This was a fun ass video to make, and I actually removed Comethazine from the list, believe it or not. I removed him to talk about Made in Tokyo instead. For real, y'all, Comethazine was originally supposed to be in here, but while I was working on it, Made in Tokyo had came to mind, and I had went, oh, hold on, Comethazine, you get a pass for now. Tokyo, I'm about to fire your ass up. The final video of the year, the 4th Am I Sleepin video of the year, A Boogie. A Boogie with the Hoodie is the 3rd person I've said no to after making a video on them. Gunna and Yeet were the other 2. This nigga, A Boogie, is not it. This man features be going hard, bro, but after checking out his own music, it's a whole bunch of misses. And the amount of excuses A Boogie fans have already been making is incredible. It's been people that was nowhere to be seen when I made the announcement and asked for suggestions, showing up saying, these recommendations were so trash, I could have gave you much better songs to listen to. I'm like, nah, don't try to show up now. One person tried to tell me, you missed A Boogie's whole wave. He was one of the biggest artists to come in the game 2017 and 2018. So you listening to him now is not going to hit. That had me thinking, what kind of lame ass excuse is that? If somebody's music is good, it's going to be timeless. It's going to be good regardless of when you listen to it. Saying that I would think A Boogie is hard if I checked him out 5 years ago makes no sense. Because if anything, you're pretty much saying that his new music is not that good. If I would only think he was fire if I checked him out 5 years ago. Stuff like that is what people try to say to discredit your opinion when they don't agree with you. If my answer would have been, oh yes, A Boogie is great and he's a great rapper, that would have never came to that dude's mind. But because I said I didn't fuck with him, oh, you late, you missed his whole wave, so it's not gonna be the same. I'm like, boy, I'm not trying to hear that shit. I'm just gonna keep listening to his feature on Tiptoe and the song I Don't Know with PNB Rock, man. That's the only hits he got.